Breaking news from the southeast. There's been a crash involving a car and a school bus at Anderson Road and Deerfoot Trail. Children were on board the bus, and police say the injuries are not life-threatening or life-altering. Traffic delays are happening along eastbound Anderson. Here's what else is making news today. Seeking answers about crime.
I think this is the first step, talking to the community, having that dialogue.
A special meeting for community members worried about extortion threats and violence. Grim discovery. Firefighters respond to a fire and find human remains inside a truck. And the uphill climb for young people looking for work.
Part of it is the economy, part of it, there's a bit of an anti-immigrant sentiment.
The job fair meant to help them.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Ian White.
Good afternoon. In half an hour, Calgary Police will be holding a town hall meeting with Northeast community members. It's in response to a spike in extortion and shooting cases, which have left residents feeling unsafe. Mark Villani is live outside the Dash Mesh Culture Senior Center. And Mark, what are police hoping to accomplish at tonight's meeting?
Well, Ian, police say this meeting is about reassurance and information, but also encouraging community members to come forward when they hear about these extortion threats. CPS, Alert, and Crime Stoppers all here tonight. They're going to be explaining what these extortion threats look like, how to protect yourself, as well as what to do if you're targeted. All of this comes as several community members are demanding more of a police presence in their neighborhood with a heightened rate of crime that they've been noticing recently. Now, since last year, Calgary police say they've been seeing 13 reported extortion cases, including 9 shootings, one of which took place last month in Redstone, where 2 masked men fired into a home on Redstone Common. Offenders are allegedly making threats, demanding money, and pressuring victims to stay quiet. Now, the area has seen a high police presence recently, including a suspicious death investigation involving 2 people at a home on Redstone Park on January 28th, and a search warrant executed just doors away this morning, where several CBSA and immigration officers responded. Now, police wouldn't confirm if those incidents are all connected, but they say extortion remains a serious threat. One area councillor says he wants answers.
The frustrating part is there, CPS, provincial government, federal government, there's got to be some action. It just can't be talk. They're seeing all this happening in our communities, in our backyards, so they need to act now. And I think this is the first step, talking to the community, having that dialogue, and answering some of their questions. They may not have all the answers, but at least making an effort.
Now, other Canadian cities have also seen similar extortion cases, including in BC's northern mainland, where they've seen dozens of reports. Now, with violence rising in residential neighborhoods, some South Asian residents are also telling us that people are signing up for gun training, even applying for gun licenses, fearing that they could be targeted next. Ian.
All right. Thank you, Mark. Human remains have been found in a burnt-out pickup truck following a large grass fire southwest of Eden Valley. This is what the scene looked like today, with the pickup completely torched in a field. The RCMP Major Crimes Unit is leading the investigation. Officers could be seen today searching the vehicle for evidence. The grass fire was reported around 9:30 last night, and it took multiple crews all night to get the flames under control.
Crews were able to locate it. It was a couple acres in size and being pushed by some strong winds and dry conditions. It grew to about 5 acres in size. It was tricky to get our bush trucks to it to put the fire out.
RCMP aren't revealing any details about the human remains. They'll only say the investigation is ongoing. One adult was rushed to Foothills Hospital in serious condition after a crash last night. EMS responded to a single vehicle crash around 7. It happened on Lower Springbank Road between Horizon View Road and Robinson Road. Paramedics say an adult was the only person in the vehicle and was flown to hospital by Stars Air ambulance in serious condition. Police are still investigating what led to the crash. The warm winter weather continues with a sunny spring-like day, but it's impacting some events in the city. Alicia Fieldberg joins us from Eau Claire, and Alicia, the lagoon there isn't getting any use.
No, Ian, there are not any skaters on the ice, and that's because there's actually water on the ice right now due to the warm weather and the sun we had today. This morning on the city website, this rink was listed as open, but now it is a sloppy mess. Outdoor festival Chinook Blast has had to adjust its programming for the upcoming weekend. Now, tomorrow it was supposed to be holding a skate on the lagoon. That is now canceled due to the soft, watery ice, but there will still be art installations and live musical and circus performance for families to enjoy for free here tomorrow.
We've gone from the warmest to the coldest and everything in between, and yet we still regularly have in the hundreds of thousands of visitors coming down to Chinook Blast every single year, and for this year we're on track to see that again regardless of what the weather will be.
I mean, back to those grass fires you were talking about. Foothills Fire Chief says that they had 7 in January. It's February 5th, and they've already had 5 grass fires in February 5th as well, so to be mindful about that.
All right, thanks very much, Alicia. So, no skating outside today, but Danielle, what struck me about today's weather is all the people outside going for a walk.
Yeah, today was the warmest of the bunch. In fact, some communities got into the 20s today. Before we get to today, let's just backtrack for a second and talk about some broken records yesterday, because there were many. 23 daily max records as of yesterday. So just a look at some of them here. Brooks area got to 18.5, which broke the old record of 11.7. So you could say really shattered the old record. Crowsnest area got to 13.1. Medicine Hat area almost 18. Pincher Creek just over 16. And the Waterton Park area 15.2. So a lot of broken records yesterday, likely way more broken records today, and I'll have those numbers for you tomorrow to look at. All right, because today, again, in some communities we got to 20. In Calgary, we got to 17. We're now sitting at 12 as temperatures kind of cool down for the day. Your 24-hour forecast is brought to you by Fifth Avenue Volkswagen, family-owned, community-driven. Discover more at Fifth Avenue Volkswagen, kicking off the morning at 0, and then tomorrow the wind's picking up a little bit out of the west, up to 40 kilometers per hour. That should get us up to 13.
Thank you, Danielle. Calgary set another record for home building last year as the city continues to climb out of a housing shortage. Jordan Canagan is in the southwest with more, and Jordan, it's already having an impact on home prices.
Ian, it is. And new numbers show that home sales and prices continue to come down in Calgary as more and more places are available for people to live. Last year alone, nearly 28,000 new homes came onto the market. That is a new record. And Calgary also continues to lead the country in the amount of housing starts for the 3rd year in a row. Now, nearly 3 years ago, Council passed a housing strategy to streamline approvals and incentivize more units, the fast tracking resulting in a construction boom of all home types, from single family to row homes to condos. New numbers from the Calgary Real Estate Board show home sales were down 15% year over year in January, and prices are down about 5% over that same time. Sales are slowing, especially in condos and row homes.
People are choosing not just based on location, but primarily on affordability. And so where we are offering additional housing choice, it's getting people into areas where they may not have been able to afford that single family home.
Now, about 2,800 homes over the last 18 months have been a result of blanket rezoning, so much lower than 10% over the last year and a half. And councillors are set to decide whether to repeal that blanket rezoning strategy after a public hearing next month. Ian?
Thank you, Jordan. It's dubbed the greatest outdoor show on earth, and a report today reveals it had a major impact on the Alberta economy last year. According to analysis from MNP, the Calgary Stampede generated $721 million across the province in 2025. That's a 33% increase from the last time a similar report was done in 2019. Across Canada last year, Stampede-related activity produced $872 million, and $664 million was generated in Calgary specifically. That includes more than $190 million in wages and salaries.
if you talk to restaurant operators and hotel operators, they know the impact of the Calgary Stampede. They see their business increase. They can count on that year in and year out. What's different now with the expanded BMO Center is that they're seeing that impact throughout the year.
In addition to the expanded BMO Center, officials also credit the increase in economic activity to the rise in visitors over the 10-day festival. There were 1.47 million through the gates in 2025 compared to 1.27 million back in 2019. Over 19 million passengers traveled through the Calgary airport last year. That's 500,000 more than the previous year. July and August saw historic volumes with more than 2 million people traveling through YYC per month. Airport officials say the demand means more tourism and economic opportunities for Calgary and Alberta. They also say they continue to invest in YYC to keep pace with the growth. It's a Calgary connection at the Winter Olympics ×2. Coming up, the born and raised Calgary goaltender wearing the maple leaf and the Calgary artist who designed his mask. And the Flames forward who is out for the rest of the season. Flames forward Jonathan Huberdeau is out for the season. The team announced this morning Huberdeau will undergo hip resurfacing surgery in March. The Flames say he's expected to make a full recovery in time for the 2026-27 season. Flames general manager Craig Conroy says Huberdeau has been dealing with hip-related symptoms throughout the season. Through 50 games, he has 10 goals and 15 assists. The Olympic women's hockey opener has been postponed. Canada was supposed to face off against Finland today, but there weren't enough Finnish players to compete. That's because norovirus is sweeping through the team. The game has been rescheduled to February 12th. One of Canada's Olympic goaltenders is bringing a piece of Alberta with him to Milano Cortina. Calgary's Logan Thompson is one of 3 goaltenders on Team Canada. He's wearing a mask painted by Calgary artist Dave Freed. Freed says Thompson wanted it to represent his roots.
What he asked for was he wanted a Calgary/Alberta vibe for his mask. So, still wants a very Canadian kind of leaf on there, but the background stuff, he definitely wanted the Calgary Tower in there. And I kind of asked him if he wanted to do that kind of that pond hockey scene in front and then the city and the mountains in the back.
Canadian goalie Darcy Kemper will also be sporting Freed's masks at the Olympics. So will Emirates Mashmeyer and Cale Osborne on the Canadian women's team. So Dave is getting lots of business from the Olympics. I bet he wishes the Olympics came more often than once every 4 years.
And his stuff will be on the world stage.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Love to see the Calgary Tower on that mask as well. Okay, it's going to cool down tomorrow, but not substantially.
Yeah. It'll be less warm than than today. Today's the toastiest of all of them. Again, in some areas like Lethbridge, for example, got to 20 degrees. In Calgary, we got just above 17 degrees. Likely not record-breaking for Calgary, but certainly record-breaking for many other communities today. And of course, there were 23 communities that broke records yesterday. All right, the winds, not excessively gusty, but a little on the windy side. 46 kilometers per hour, that was the max in Calgary today. You can expect that same type of thing tomorrow afternoon as well. 61 was the max in Pincher Creek and closer to 60 in Lethbridge. Again, similar wind gusts for tomorrow. All right, here's what it's doing to temperatures right now. Pincher Creek is sitting at 13, Lethbridge at 12. So things have cooled off. The winds are switching direction and no longer out of the west for many areas. So temperatures are dropping fast for the day. We're down to 10 in Calgary and 11 in Medicine Hat right now. All right, that upper air analysis, the jet stream still way up towards the territories pretty much here. This is going to start to slump to the south as we get into later in the day on Saturday. So supper time hours Saturday, we'll start to notice a difference in the change. There will be a change in the weather pattern. This will likely allow some clouds to sneak in, potentially even some isolated showers, which I'll show you in just a second, because it's going to follow the jet stream. The jet stream is the storm track. So we'll see some of that sneak in to southern Alberta because the jet stream will start to move towards us. Right now, though, the jet stream is way up to the north, and you can see that in the cloud cover, the edge of all that. Yep. It's a pretty strong ridge of high pressure. All right. When we look at the hour by hour here and what that's going to do, we're going to start to see the clouds slump to the south. So tomorrow we'll get some cloudy periods, but also some sunshine as well. It's more Saturday by 11 a.m. and especially in the afternoon hours, we have the potential for some isolated showers along QE2, Calgary, down Highway 2, even some cloud cover that will start to sneak in that will be around for Sunday as well. And temperatures will not be able to climb quite as high because we're not going to get that warm push of air from the States. We're also not into the westerly flow as much. 13 degrees is our high for tomorrow. Gusts in the afternoon, 40 kilometers per hour with a mix of sun and cloud. 9 degrees for Saturday, and by Sunday, 8.
Thanks, Danielle. Landing a job is especially tough for young people right now. Still to come, the event meant to give young people an opportunity. Tech stocks took a beating on the markets today. Joining me is Robert Geary, investment advisor with the Popwich Carmeli Advisory Group. And first of all, Rob, how did the markets close out the day?
Yeah, there's a lot of red on my screen today here, Ian, and there was a bit of a risk-off sentiment that's carried over from the last couple of days here. And, you know, for the TSX, it was hit by a lot of the miners because we had the commodity side of gold and silver got hit pretty hard again here today. So kind of a nowhere to hide day across the board, and especially on the tech side as well. Right. And speaking of which, if your nest egg is heavily invested in tech stocks, you're a bit poorer today. Yeah, and this is, again, rolling over the last few days and, you know, has been a trend. And this is from the last couple earnings reports that we've got in. This is from Google reporting yesterday and doubling their CapEx expenditures for 2026. So I think the market is kind of looking at how much they need to continue to spend on AI and improving their data centers and getting more data centers. That is kind of spooking the market. And this afternoon, after the bell here, we had Amazon report as well, and the same thing happening, that they're saying they're spending significantly more than analysts expected, and the market is not liking that after the bell is either. Meantime, Canada Goose feeling the chill from investors. Yeah, this is an interesting one to watch here in the Canadian market. It was down 20% in trading today on the TSX. And the big one here is Canada Goose obviously makes profitable parkas, and they make a lot of margin on those parkas, but then now they're trying to branch out into a lot of other product lines like rain jackets, shorts, and the like. And they have to see if that kind of mid-level luxury market is going to take to this, but you got to advertise to get people to spend. So their spend is higher, and their kind of guidance looking forward that the margins aren't as high on some of these items like they are on the parkas. So that's why the stock is trading down today. All right. Thanks very much. Yeah, appreciate it. Canada leads the G7 in a dubious category, food inflation. In December, food prices in Canada were up 6.2%, twice as much as the U.S. and 3 times as much as France and Germany. This week, the Bank of Canada noted that grocery prices jumped 22% in the last 3 years, compared to 13% for prices on other consumer items. Several hundred job seekers attended a hiring fair in the Northeast aimed largely at young people struggling in a tough market. At the Genesis Center, the Immigrant Education Society welcomed individuals looking for entry-level work. Over 25 employers across finance, construction, security, and automotive fields were on hand. The job fair was aimed at youth facing a provincial youth unemployment rate of 14.5%, which is above the national average. The Immigrant Education Society says it's even tougher for racialized youth to find work.
Part of it is the economy, part of it there's a bit of an anti-immigrant sentiment, and part of it is with some employers not really understanding the value of what newcomers bring to the country and that they are actually experienced.
NIDE says it used to take their clients 2 months to find work. Now it can take up to 6 months. A town hall is underway about rising extortion cases in Calgary. Here's Tara Nelson with a look ahead to CTV News at 6.
Hi, Ian. Calgary police are hosting the meeting with residents in the Northeast. The crimes are largely targeting Calgary's South Asian community. Coming up at 6, residents are sharing some of their top concerns. Also ahead, new data shows Albertans continue to struggle to see or get a family doctor. Coming up, we'll hear from one woman who's been waiting years, plus the province's response to the challenges. Ian.
Thank you, Tara. The warm weather did not stop the East End Cold Spell Festival from kicking off. The first event in Calgary's East Village was a vintage night market at the Confluence. Local vendors were set up to sell as DJs played music on Wednesday night. East End Cold Spell events continue all month. Tonight is the start of the Block Heater Music Festival. Well, people across Canada likely envy us here in southern Alberta today. We are the warmest part of the country at the moment. It is 10 degrees in Calgary right now. Danielle has details coming up. Really warm today, but it might not have been a record.
Yeah, we're going to have to wait and see because it's so close that Environment and Climate Change Canada is going to have to look over these numbers and confirm it for us. Let me show you just how close. Today we got to 17.1, it looks like. The old record is 17.4 from 1984. So, if anything, we've basically tied it. 10 degrees is where we're sitting right now as temperatures drop off for the day. We're losing those winds out of the west, but they'll be back tomorrow. Just not quite as warm tomorrow, 13 degrees. And then 9 for Saturday, 8 for Sunday. Overall, still a nice weekend coming up.
Thanks, Danielle. Many of us love to see a movie on the big screen in the theater, but right now the Workland Centre is going small with movies. It's called Micro Cinema, 3 short films playing on monitors at the centre. The artists used a variety of techniques to create their productions through animation, stop motion, and live action. It's a chance for them to test their creativity for a wide variety of people who pass through the space daily. The films are about 2 minutes long.
It's typically at least 2 minutes long, and if we do a feature film or short feature film, it's up to 20 minutes. So that's sort of the criteria when we're looking for stories, critical thinking, interesting stories, interesting perspectives from artists, lots of different process-based works, just pushing the boundaries of what a micro cinema can host.
And you can see these films at the Workland Centre until April 15th. Thanks very much for joining us. Now here's the early edition of the CTV National News.